February 14th, 2020. Now I'm going to the same cat, so now it should be easier because it's exactly the same load, and now I remember you know, the yard, where they want me to park, you know, what to do. So it's always easier next time at the same place. And I still remember the name of the guy who loaded me. I hope he's working today again. My hood recently has been making lots of noise. Oh, and one exciting upgrade I'm gonna do when I'm back, we're gonna install those splash guards on the bumper, the ones that I removed. And if you hear this sound, that's my jailbreak. Position 2. This is 3. It's on the steering wheel here. Now, when I was driving this way, I called my local weather consultant from Edmonton, and I requested weather information for my loading day, which is today. And the answer I received was it's going to be about +2 Celsius, which is 34-35 F. And I'm extremely disappointed because right now it's -3, which is 29 F. So some review is in order. So Rob, somebody from my staff will be calling you because this is unacceptable. And Monday is Family Day in Canada, and turns out it's a statutory holiday. And Manitoba and Saskatchewan, you cannot drive on the holiday. But Manitoba is even worse. Manitoba, you cannot drive on the Sunday preceding the holiday. So basically, if I don't get out of Manitoba by the end of Saturday, I will lose 2 days. I will have to sit in Manitoba till Tuesday morning. Well, turns out my YouTube videos are much more popular than I thought. As soon as I checked in, I was told no filming in the yard. And I'm open to, you know, positive criticism. So if there's anything, you know, I need to change in the way I make the videos, so we're gonna do that. But yeah, I cannot show anything in the yard. But what happens is this time I unhooked. This time I was driving and thinking about this, so I'm like, you know, in my mind I played this scenario, you know, 20,000 times. I know exactly what to do at what point, you know, not wasting any time, because because like I mentioned, the priority is to get to Ontario line, Manitoba Ontario line, otherwise I'm losing 2 days. If I get to Ontario, I can still drive Monday, the family day or the President's Day in the States. I can drive until noon. You see, Manitoba, no driving Sunday, no driving Monday. So basically I'm gaining 1 day and then 6 hours probably, you know. But Ontario does not allow night driving. So as soon as I enter Ontario, that rest area, probably somewhere around midnight tomorrow, I gotta shut down because there's no night driving, but there's parking right there at the border with Manitoba. So perfect. Manitoba okay with night driving, Ontario says no. No, actually they allow it, but only up to certain width. And I'm wider than that. Well, I got free coffee. And two things happened. Two things happened. That's how you have to dress, see? Vest, hot hat, and glasses. Thing number one that happened, a buddy of mine, Vladimir showed up, and he's a trucker from Russia, and he's moved to Canada. They have this provincial nominee program where, you know, if you're a citizen of a different country, but there's a list of jobs that where they have a shortage of workers, and they have this special program where they can invite foreign workers under those categories, like only jobs where they really need people. And so drivers in Western Canada, like there's a list of these provinces, right? And so he came over, and then later they help you become a resident. And first he lived in Saskatchewan, and then he moved to Alberta. Now he's trying to get his kind of like green card in the States, right? But I have all this. Like, I came here already being a resident, everything was done, and then 3 years later I got my citizenship, right? And they let him in because he has full PPE, personal protective equipment, and he was able to come in. He was, you know, wanted to see my truck, my trailer, so I showed him my new toys, the Jeep, the Stinger. I love the Stinger. This Stinger is so useful, works perfect. And when I had to, you know, back, I just drained the air and I locked those arms to prevent articulation. And especially in the snow, it you know, goes easy. You know, turn the corner, just the tires slide, you know. And there's a Starbucks nearby, and he says, Vladimir says, do you want to go for coffee? And I said, well, I'm waiting for the tire truck, right, because I have a flat tire. And he says, hey, I can bring you coffee. And he was in his car. So basically he lives in Calgary, and he saw my video that I'm here. And so he says, Americano? I said, yes, please. So he got me my first Americano of the day. Yeah, sorry guys, I never told you what was the second thing that happened, right? So the first thing, my buddy showed up, Vladimir. But the second thing, my other friend that works for a Saskatchewan heavy haul company showed up with a 100-ton trailer. And the crazy thing they do here in Western Canada, and you can see these trailers in California as well, it's instead of a single axle on the trailer, they have two half axles, right? So the axle is broken in the middle of the trailer. So it's like the trailer was 11 feet wide, and it's one of those kind of like oil field, you know, like a step deck, right? Like a step deck, but with a gooseneck. But it was like this high, you know, up to my chest. And he brought 349, like it was 105,000 pounds, a Caterpillar 349. Because it turns out they ship them by train, by rail. And he just goes to the railroad station, picks them up, and brings them to the cat. And so that trailer was so tall. I said, how tall are you, like the top of this machine? And he says 16 feet. But you know, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, they don't care because there's no bridges. They move like crazy big stuff in here. But so his trailer has, and the Jeep. So he had a Tridem Jeep, but each axle was actually 2 semi-axles or half axles, and each half axle had 4 wheels. So basically one line, as they call them, right? One line had 8 wheels. And so that Tridem Jeep actually had 24 wheels. So it's like a 6-axle regular Jeep, right? Because it's 24 tires, 24 wheels. And the same deal with the trailer. So the trailer had 3 axles with 8 wheels each. And when he was unloading, it was really scary, because you know how the machine dips. My trailer, but my deck is 22 inches tall. His deck was, I don't know, 60 inches tall. So it's too bad I cannot film, you know. But anyway, I'm still waiting for a tire truck, right? I have this flat tire on the trailer. I don't see any damage to the sidewall. So I think it's just I caught a nail somewhere. The guy says, shall I bring a tire just in case? I said, yeah, just in case, bring some cheap Chinese tire, but I think they will be able to fix it. So, and that's why we're not loading, right? So even though that jack, I know they use like massive jacks, but you know, once this is loaded, it's going to be a bit scary to lift the trailer with a scraper on. I don't think it would be safe, you know. So that's why we postponed the loading until the tire is fixed. And it's the inside tire on the last axle on the trailer, axle 3. Inside tire on the axle 3 on the driver's side. All right, local time 1:30. 1:30, that's my tire guy is leaving. So he fixed the tire. It took him like 40 minutes to remove the wheel from the trailer. The wheel just didn't want to go. You know, I'm not going. And I had this issue before with the different, when I had a flat on the passenger side. The same thing, like all the wheels, I guess because the trailer was sitting in Alabama for 2 years before I bought it, the wheels are seized, you know. So I think maybe when I have time, I gotta take them all off, you know, and grease everything there, because put some spray. And so now I'm ready. I'm ready to load. The scraper is not ready. They took some relay off. They were checking some big relay. He says it deal with some super strong current. The relay is fine. Now they're checking switches. The guy sitting in the cab. And what's funny is that I thought this way would be quicker, right? Because I thought we would load first and then I will deal with my flip box and the Jeep, you know. But if I did everything the same way I did last time, you know, where I hooked the Jeep and flipped put the flip down and dragged the neck away with the truck at least, and then, you know, they would have the issue, but at least I would be already attached to the Jeep and the flip box would be down, you know. So now, because these guys are sitting in front of my trailer, right, in order for me to hook up the Jeep, I have to hook the neck back to the trailer, right, and then we flip the neck extension, then I hook up to the Jeep, and then we attach all the hoses on the neck, and then I hook up to the trailer, and then and that's it. So this was supposed to happen after it's loaded, right? But because it's not loaded, I still have this bunch of stuff to do after the machine is on the deck. And of course it's a typical situation where it's okay to charge a customer a detention fee, you know, because I told the customer 3 days ago my ETA, because this dealer requires 24-hour notice, and we gave him that, but looks like they didn't check the machine. They didn't check it. But I had a flat tire, right? So I cannot charge the customer detention if the machine is not ready, but I wouldn't be able to load anyway because of the tire. And my buddy Ray is back with the second 349 on the same tall step deck trailer with 8 wheels per axle. This guy is fearless, courageous. So he's going to unload again the excavator again. The deck is 60 inches tall. It's going to drive like that. It's just too bad I cannot show you guys. It's 2:30 in the afternoon local time. I've been here since 8:30. I just saw the guy finally walking away from the machine. So they solved the problem. Then it took him like 20 minutes to put things back together, you know, the plastic parts, the covers, I think they even opened something underneath, some kind of a cover. But now it looks way good. But what did I say the time now is 2:30? And actually they don't close at 4:30, they close at 5:30. So, but even though I didn't do anything, but I feel tired, you know. You're just sitting on your butt, you know, for 6 hours. I don't know. So all I can think about is where is my dinner gonna be? Strathmore Husky, where I spent the night. It's too small. I barely made it in there and in and out with the booster attached. So now instead of 85 feet, I'm 105 feet. I'm 20 feet longer. So I cannot go in there. So probably. And I know you can drive at night, but you know, like when you start working, and I got up at 6:30 today, right? Like I don't want to be on, you know, up and about for, I don't know, 15 hours, you know. But some people I know, they will just keep driving right till you run out of hours. But I think I'll just go. Especially since now it's clear that I'm not gonna make it through Manitoba by Sunday. No way. Regina is 750 kilometers away, 7.5 hours at 100 kilometers an hour, which I don't do. So basically it's like 9 hours away, Regina. So it would take me a whole day tomorrow just to reach Regina, but okay, today I can drive, 2-3 hours. I'll just probably go to Brooks. There's a Flying J. There's lots of parking. It's a big truck stop. Now time at home is 8 o'clock. Time here is 6. And I'm finally out of the yard, so they kicked me out at 5:30 and spent whole day here. So now at least I can show you guys the load. So we got the Jeep. This was a relatively easy, but it's just, yeah, there's so many hoses, to connect between the flip box and the neck, between the Jeep and here, then over there. It's like I probably have, I don't know, 10 miles of hoses. And all I gotta do now is I'm gonna sleep here. I'm too tired to drive, so I'm gonna cover the exhaust. I don't have any shopping bags today, so I'm gonna grab an Uber and go to and grab something to eat like I did it last time. I know where everything is here, right? And so I have to cover the exhaust and put flags. I got 2 flags on the back. I'll just probably put 2 flags in here. And we loaded it exactly the same way, but this time Shane, the master operator, did a better job, because this time it sits pretty much equal. We're gonna check now, but that's why I brought these cables, because I don't want this, to go on the there's nowhere to put it. Or somewhere there. So these cables come in very useful, Just put a cable in here. Perfect. And so yeah, this time I did it a bit different. Where somehow there's more space here. Not sure why. But last time I put a chain in there. But this time I decided against it. All right, now we have 2 chains here, and you see, last time I did a mistake. I hooked these chains to to that part, and can I stand in here? This should be good enough. All right. I don't think it's going anywhere. I lost count how many chains I have. So all I had to eat today was 2 apples. And so now what happened there is that GoPro finally died, because I was recording all all day. So yeah, so basically you see two in the back, and again I had to do it like this to the booster. And so you see this is slight angle forward, just very slight, but I made sure I did the same in the front. So this one pulls slightly forward, and the two in the front pull slightly back, so they cancel each other. And here, see, two pull back and two pull forward. Very important. So they kind of like self-tightening, right? That's the sign that you're dealing with a guy who knows what he's doing. And two, and like I'm so tired now, right? And I hooked up those to here, and then I stand back, and I'm so happy, like they're super tight. And wait a second, where do I put the opposite direction chain? Had to undo it, and you see these pull backwards, right? Hold on, you see? So yeah, these pull backwards and these pull this way. So again, these two cancel each other, right? Or tighten. And then here I did the same thing I did last time. Put in two D-rings in there. D-rings, sorry. Two of those things over there, right? And then pull the two chains back to the sides, under the tire. And this time I decided to do it a bit easier, because I remember they have D-rings inside. But again, you see that's 2 and 2, right? Opposite direction. That's perfect. And then you see here, that's the ones I meant. So they pull slightly backwards. So they're supposed to be like a pair with those ones in the back. And so how many pairs we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8 pairs of chains. So each pair can hold 20,000 pounds. Oh boy, right, because it's 10,000 times 2, it can hold 50%. So I have 80,000 in chains, so they can hold 160,000 pounds. But exactly the same machine. You see 621'H. And at my request, they took off. You see, so all you have left is like 3 inches. No, wait, probably 2. And we had to take off that tow hook. I asked them to, and they took off the the flashing light at top of the roof. So like I said, all I have to do now is cover the stack and just put 2 flags in the front. That's it. Here everything is good. And the guy who fixed my tire, I asked him to check just to be sure. So he checked all Jeep tires, made sure they're all 125 psi, and he checked all trailer tires and the booster. And oh, sorry, I was using super wide angle, so you probably only saw like my cheek or my nose or something. Anyway, everything is cool here. And you guys know what this is? That's where the dozer pushes this thing when they need to put more dirt inside this bucket. So they grab a dozer. See over there, we got a couple of timbers, just like last time. And I put a rubber underneath so that it doesn't move. I think we're good. Those are my new shiny outrigger boards. Thanks again to Chris from Maryland, the super patient guy who waited 3 hours for me at the port. And the journey with scraper number 2 is about to begin. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. Take care.